a ride somewhere and the company that can serve you is not allowed to operate in the state of Colorado. It seems like it's a technology loophole that is holding that up. Hi, welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Beverly Weaver, and we are in the state capitol talking with state lawmakers as you meet in session. And welcome to Senator Cheri Jahn, who is here to talk about this issue with me. This is definitely something, Cheri, that it sounds like you've heard from your constituents on. Tell me what the problem is.
You know, the problem is our laws in Colorado do not clearly have a place for the transportation network carriers. They have a place for taxi cabs and they have a place for limos, but this is really not defined. So the director of the PUC has said that if we don't pass legislation, he is going to have to ask UberX and Lyft to leave Colorado, which would be a tragedy. And so, you know, our laws are not meant to offer protectionism to an industry. It's to really offer protections to our consumers and make sure that there's consumer protections in place.
And let's talk about the need that you see out there for this type of ride. Are we talking mostly elderly and handicap, or who is using this service?
You know, it can be anyone, but I have to tell you the market that we're seeing are even the younger crowds, because they just don't take taxi cabs.
Right.
I believe that it will be more of a need to have more carriers, whether it be Uber, UberX, Lyft, or your taxi cabs. But it is a younger crowd. They just don't seem to take taxi cabs.
Right, and Denver's not really a city like New York City where
No.
it is that easy to get around quickly.
That's right.
If you don't have a vehicle.
That's
Okay.
right.
Let's talk about another issue you're bringing up this session as well, which is the brownfield tax credit. Now, tell us first of all what a brownfield is, and then really what you're trying to get done with that bill.
I am very excited about this bill. We have been working with a huge stakeholder group since last May. And brownfield is exactly what it's meant to be. It is contaminated, brown, dirty sites. And in Colorado, we don't have a tax credit program that will help them with the cost of cleanup. Very, very costly. So many of these sites are just sitting, contaminated, and really blighting communities.
Areas,
so
yeah.
That's right. So this will actually do a tax credit after it is cleaned up for the developer and or the city or the locals. So
Yeah.
they'll be able to get a tax credit. And we can clean some of these old dry cleaning places up. We can clean up the asbestos contaminated sites.
Right, so we're not talking about super fun sites with super
No.
dangerous chemicals. We're
No.
talking about just something that had a chemical on it that can pose a risk.
Well, and I'll tell you what, the chemicals that the dry cleaning companies used to use were very toxic, very toxic.
Yeah.
And it's just too costly for someone to clean up. So some people have even walked away from their properties.
Right,
So-
and these are areas sometimes right in the heart of an urban area, right?
You know, in my district, which is now encompassing Lakewood, we have the Belmar. In Arvada, we have great redevelopment going on. In the rural areas, I can't tell you how needed this is. They have a lot of contaminated sites, and you know, these little counties and the rural areas need a lot of help. This is really going to create some good jobs and do some great environmental cleanup.
Have you heard from developers who do want to get involved and get a tax credit once this goes into effect?
Absolutely, and I have to tell you, they've all been at the table. The environmental people, the developers, the realtors, everyone has been at the table working through this issue so we would have something really great to roll out.
All right, Senator
Yeah.
Cheri Jahn,
Thank
thanks so
you.
much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for taking time.
You bet. And thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Beverly Weaver. Thanks for coming in and telling us about that legislation. Yes.